Hello friends, welcome back to Plant Science Tools. In this video, we will discuss about the Z-test that I have already discussed in the previous videos and discussed many cases. But in this video, we are going to upload a CSV file and then to interpret our result related to the Z-test, that how can we import file in R and then we can use this file for interpreting our results and also to formulate a hypothesis. For example, I have already uploaded this file. That is basically this file is basically a CSV file. In this file, basically I have 10 observations, and these are the main which I want to test. For example, in I want to test about the height, and then I want to test about the weight, age, score, time, and etc. So this is basically the file that I am going to use in this video. So the basic our question is basically given a sample of 10 weights that I have given in this CSV file in kilograms. Test if the average weight of the sample is significantly different from the population mean weight of 68. That this is the basically data that is about the weight check. And at the 66 in 10 observations. But here we want to test either the our hypothesis or our data is significant round about the 68 weight of population mean is population mean weight of 68 kg. So we need to test this hypothesis. So now move towards this. Step 1 is basically about the hypothesis that we have already formulated. That is basically H is equal to 68, H1 mu is not equal to 68, means the population mean is equal to 68 or population mean is not equal to 68. So now we move towards the second step, that is basically the significance level. As you know that this is basically our two-tailed test. So this is the test. So here the significance value is basically not given. Here the significance value is basically 0.05. But the main thing is that if it is not given in the question, so that we will use 0.05. So in this case, as this is the two-tailed test, so we will use a significance level alpha is equal to 0.025. So it's a rule of statistics. Now we move towards the step 3, that is basically the test statistics, that which type of test we are statistics we are applying. So as you know that this video is basically related to the Z-test, so that we will apply the Z-test. Now we move towards the fourth step, that is basically our computation. Okay. So as I have already discussed, in some cases we are use the library that is demos. So first of all we need to install this library and to import it, and then we need to define our data. That also needs to create a data frame. So that I have already created a data frame with the help of this function data.frame. Z-data is basically my file name. So now we need to calculate, as you know that in this question basically the sample mean, standard deviation and significance level, nothing is given. This is the main disadvantage of any kind of file, that we need to that there is a much need to calculate the sample mean, then we need also calculate the sample standard deviation or variance, etc. So first of all we are going to calculate the sample mean of this file. So here we will use our mean function, then we use our data one variable that I have created, and then to use the dollar sign, because here we are going to just about the testing about the weight. So here I will use the weight.kg. So after this we need to calculate the standard deviation. So for standard deviation, here we will use a standard SD function for standard deviation, and then to write this code. So this is basically the standard deviation, that how can we calculate the standard deviation. After this, the population mean is given in the question, that is basically the 68, because all of this is totally related to the population mean. So here the z-test results basically now the next step is basic in computation is basically the z-test statistics results we will use, and in this basically we will use the function that is basically the z.test. But here our first variable, which is related to the x variable, so for x variable we will use x, and then here basically I have already written here, and then we will use here like data 1, and then to make the dollar sign and then weight of which we want to calculate our z-test. So then we need to mu, which is basically the population mean, that is already written here, that is our population mean. Then in teaching demos library, we will for standard deviation we will use the ST deviation, but in case of BSDA library we will use the sigma.x. So standard deviation is basically given the name of sample standard deviation, and then here the alternative, as you know that the alternative is basically all related to the two-tailed test. So as you know that it's a two-tailed test, so we will write here as two-sided, and because it's a two-tailed test. So this is how can we write our code. And then also after this we need to print this z-test result. So after running this code, you can see here the output, that how the output is. So here you can see that the one sample z-test, and here the value of the z is basically z minus 0.29, and here the p value is 0.7. So the p value is 0.7659, and alternative hypothesis is true mean is not equal to 68, mean we reject the alternative hypothesis. And also we can interpret it like that, if the p value is greater than 0.025, then we will accept the null hypothesis, otherwise we will reject the null hypothesis. So as in this case the mean of the this value is basically 67.6. So the last step is basically the interpretation. So for interpretation and conclusion, we need I have already written here the code. If you want to write it, you can, otherwise there is no need, because you can interpret your result just by this p value. So after this code, after running this code, you can see the output, that how the output looks like. So here the conclusion is given, that we accept the null hypothesis, that there is a significant difference in mean, because the p value is basically greater than 0.025. That's why we accept the null hypothesis. So this is all about the z-test, that how can we import a CSV file and then to interpret our results related to z-test or to test a hypothesis. I hope this video is very helpful for all of you. If you like my videos, please subscribe my channel, and don't be forget to press the bell icon button. Allah Hafiz.